Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to dive into MAG-23 Guadalcanal, a solitaire air war game from Historic Games and Thomas Van Hare. Complexity, 5 out of 10. Age range, 10 plus. Number of players, solitaire. And time to play from 15 minutes to 60 minutes. This is available on Amazon. I will have an affiliate link to this game in the description if you want to pick up a copy for yourself. And again, full disclosure, that's an affiliate link. I get a few pennies. Let's take a look here. What do we got? The future is in your dice. Trademark. Kind of like that. So it starts off with a dedication here to a Marine, Dermot H. McDowell. And get some information about him. I think later in the book it also does that. We'll get to that here in a second. Some recommendations for the game. Simple table of contents. There's some information about getting assets to help support the game with links to Board Game Geek. And we get into the rules. So first thing is printed on white. Black text, nice size. Hello. Well, apparently somebody wants to scratch her chin on the side of the paper. Scoochy little girl. So the rules make up approximately, I want to say 30 pages, but we're going to about 31 pages. Yeah. So with most of these solitaire games that you pick up on Amazon, I don't know if any of them are this quite detailed with 30 odd pages. But this is a campaign game. And each game turn represents one day. And you play, ideally, for the whole campaign, which starts in August. August 21st would be your first day for your mission. It ends when they depart on Monday, October 12th, 1942. And as a side note, I am actually going to read the rules. There are some components that can be photocopied or download PDFs off of Board Game Geek to go print. I'm going to make sure I have a full understanding of these rules. And then in August, on the 21st, I'm going to play one turn a day and mimic the actual campaign and MAG-23's involvement in Guadalcanal. And we'll see how well I do on a day-by-day basis. Excuse me, little girl. Anyway, so we've got, I won't get too deep into the various rules here, but you'll see that when I start the gameplay in August. And so it gives me plenty enough time to kind of learn what's going on. But again, 30 pages. And like I said, this is a narrative style game. Okay. I think, and it says each game turn takes a couple hours to play. And there are counters, and it says that some of these counters are optional, but we're going to go ahead and create those. So as you might expect in a solo game with 30 pages of rules, you might have some tables. And here we have tables. So you got your mission tables, and these are broken out by week, which I think is interesting. 21 August to 27, 1942. Stage 1 is pre-flight. You check your weather, mission types, Coast Watchers, Marine Scouts. So you get phase 3 in stage 1 that deals with information that you have to help plan your missions. And then you get to your air mission, land mission, sea missions. You roll some dice to determine what you're going to encounter. Then you get to stage 2, which is your flight ops. You have your takeoff and landing accidents, sighting, and some additional missions, outcome of another mission. Again, rolling tables. And then stage 3 is your post-flight, where you check for disease and infections, pistol artillery, washing machine Charlie. And this has been very well researched historically. So for example, with the phase 3 here with the Coast Watchers and Marine Scouts, you got location and name. So Bougainville, you've got Jack Reed and Paul Mason. New Georgia, you got Donald Kennedy and Harry Wickham. I've been doing some research on Coast Watchers, some of you might know that, and the information in here is very historically accurate, which is very nice. It adds to the narrative. Anyway, there's some information that went on during the week, and I'm not sure if this is historically accurate. I'm going to do some research, but I suspect it may be. Let me go to the next week, or from the 28th of September. Again, same tables, different results, and then a narrative section for that particular week. And we continue on to the next week, same thing. And as you see, this continues, which I think is a very nice design, right? It gives you a feel of each week. So again, each game turn is 1 day, and then you go through a week. And here we get to October 12th. And then I think this is the final week, October 9th to 11th. Yeah, final days. Okay. Then, supporting mission tables, supplemental mission tables. And again, you're going to roll on these that help create the narrative story of what you're going through and doing. Looks like there's quite a bit of replay value here. And then campaign tracking sheet. So you've got your individual days for week 1 all the way through the final days. So it's 7.5 weeks. U.S. victory points, Japanese victory points, U.S. AC losses, Japanese AC losses, other JP losses and win-loss. So each day is a win or a loss, which then can affect your week, which, again, I haven't read all the rules, but I know that that is integrated into the combat system. And then here are some of the phases that are kind of copied back here on those tables. With some of the icons: undefined critical target, land operations, air combat operations, sea combat operations. So you're going to have, your missions are either going to be air, land, or sea. And then here are some of the counter sheets. Here's a nice looking. Now, one thing that would have been nice, because this is KDP, and I don't know what their page count is to before the pricing changes, but I do know printing KDP, there's some fudge in there. You might have a 20 page, 25 page, and the printing costs are the same to you. You set your profit or whatever. And whether you've got 20 pages or 25 pages, it doesn't make a difference. Now, I'm just giving you, examples. What would have been nice is if each of these pages would have had multiple copies so that you could have just, if you wanted to, cut them out and glue them onto cardstock. As it is, you really can't do that. I mean, look at, you're not going to cut that. These are the ship counters. So a few extra pages would have been nice, assuming it didn't change their pricing. So here's your air combat operations. And again, I'm not sure how these are used, if these are actually game aids or just reference material. Either way, it's very cool. And then here you go. This is your kind of your log, which goes all the way through October 11th. And see, there's multiple copies of it. And this tells you when your reinforcements come in for various pilots. You can have up to 28. XO, CO. I'm going to recruit viewers, put them in the game, and hopefully you guys survive. So you get multiple copies of this. And again, I believe this can be downloaded from BGG, which we will do. More logs. F4S available. SBD available. lost today, newly arrived, so keep track of your aircraft. And there's some performance information about the various aircraft. Now this is really nice. There's some good reference material in here with some photographs that talk about the various aircraft that were used by both sides. Which was better, the Wildcat or the Zero? And it talks about that. So in the back of the book, there's more detail about Dermot McDonald and the role he played at Guadalcanal. Very well researched. Talks about the Marine air combat tactics, the thatch weave, and some other history. Coast Watchers, just a little blurb. Again, I'm working on a game that's going to give us a little more detail on what that contribution was. And then some game design notes, which I think is going to be very interesting. Now, at some point, I'm going to try to get Thomas Van Hare on the podcast. He did submit a game to Postcards from the Front. I'd love to talk to him about that as well. In August, we're going to start our daily play of campaign of MAG-23 Guadalcanal. But I wanted to go ahead and give you kind of a look and see what's in this. This is, like I said, 30 pages. This is much more detailed than a lot of the games you're going to get off of Amazon, War Games that is. So I'm really looking forward to this August and kicking off this campaign. And there'll be more information as we get closer. I mean, we're just about to start June as of now. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Goodbye for now.